Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to be back here with all of you. My name is Christie, for those of you that do not know. This is a knitting podcast, mostly knitting. Occasionally I'll throw in some other things, but today is all knitting. So we have got a lot to talk about today, and I am so excited to share everything with you. I am going to start off the podcast with announcing the winner for last month's giveaway. This is last month's giveaway. We have a linen stand bag and we have a 75-25 fingering yarn in the colorway Goldilocks, I believe was the colorway name. So the winner of this set is Priscilla Allen. Congratulations, Priscilla Allen. I am so excited for you. If you will contact me through my website, just message me, or you can message me through Instagram and give me your mailing address. I'll get these goodies in the mail to you. And I do have another giveaway today, so if you want information on that, it will be at the end of the video. All right, I have a fairly large shop announcement, and normally I wouldn't do this at the beginning, but I feel like it pertains to some of the things that I will be talking about, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys right now that I have decided to stop doing the yarn dyeing. And I know that's probably, you would think that I would be sad, and I am sad in some ways, but I'm excited because of the reason why. Recently I started dabbling in pattern designing, knitwear pattern designing. Now my background is fashion, and I did for many years, I did fashion design, pattern drafting, and writing instructions for pattern. So anyway, I do have a background in fashion, so I'm really excited about moving in this direction. And I realized very quickly on that balancing the yarn dyeing, the bag making, and the pattern designing was just too much. And so I love doing these podcasts and being able to come here and share all of these wonderful things with you guys. So I've had to decide of some things to let go, and the yarn dyeing is one of them. So on my website, I think I will have just a little bit longer, I think. So if it's not there, please don't be mad at me. But I think I'm going to have the yarn bases that I still have in stock. I think I'm going to keep those on my website until they run out, and then I will no longer be offering any of my yarns. That being said, I don't really have a whole lot because I had never really reached that point yet. So I don't know, I may just go ahead and shut things down completely. That decision has not been made yet. So that's the big shop announcement. I do have another big shop announcement, and this is the release of my very first pattern. And I am so excited that it has finally been released. I am actually wearing it right now, so I'm going to stand up and show you guys in just a second. But this is my Party of 8. And it is a top-down round yoke with decorative increases that create these vertical lines, and they contrast the horizontal stripes that the top is written to be done in. It could be done in a solid if you wanted to. It could be done in more than just 2 colors if you wanted to. The sky's the limit for this, and it is a lot of fun to knit. It's made out of a non-superwash fingering, and because of my yarn decision, I think I'm going to go back and rewrite this for a cotton, and I'll touch on that a little bit more in just a few minutes, but I'm going to stand up real quick and show you guys this pattern, and so you can see it in all its glory. This is the Party of 8 pattern. Again, round yoke, top down, super easy. The only stitches you have to pick up are under the arms. It has a split hem on the side, and it's a 2x2 rib to contrast or to play off of the vertical increases that I have going here, the decorative increases. I have written it for a short sleeve. You are more than welcome, or it would look great as a long sleeve as well if you're in an area where you get more use out of a long sleeve pattern. You could do it like that as well. So I'm going, it's written, it has a slight A-line fit, and it is written with about 2 inches of positive ease. You could go a little more, a little less, whichever you prefer. Okay, so that's a little bit about the fit and everything on this pattern. It is currently available on Ravelry, and it will be on my website as well. With this being my first pattern, I have decided to do it as a free pattern for everyone. I want everyone to be able to enjoy this. I will say that because of the way the increases did, I wasn't able to take this down to really smaller sizes and really the larger sizes. So it is not completely size inclusive. That being said, all of my other patterns will be, but again, it is a free one. If you want a larger size, you could use a larger gauge. You could use a larger yarn or whatever and get a larger size. So, and if you wanted a smaller size, you could just knit it a tighter gauge. So it's still accessible for everyone, but it's specifically written for sizes. Sorry, let me see. It is written for sizes, finished chest measurements of 31.5 to 49.5. So that is the Party of 8. So I hope you guys will all run out and either add it to your favorites, add it to your queue on Ravelry, download it off of my website, whatever works for you, and hopefully this summer you guys will join in knitting this up. I'm really, really excited about it. And I am definitely considering doing a knit along on this very soon. So if you're interested in joining in a knit along, possibly starting in the month of May, watch on Instagram, or you can watch on my website, and I will have a sign up on my website for anybody that's interested in joining. So that is the Party of 8. And next up, we will be going over my FOs. So I will be right back. All right, here we go, right on into FOs. Obviously, Party of 8 is an FO that I finished this past month. So that's one FO. And then I have 3 more to share with you. The first one I'm going to share, these are all patterns that are in the process of being tested, and they will be coming out very soon. This is one that I have talked about before, but you guys have not seen this one. This is my Spring Fling cardigan. Your title on all of these are still in the works. Okay, so this is a raglan cardigan, top down, and it is striped, as you can see. Originally, the first one that I made up, I had 4 yarns, well technically 5, but we'll say 4 yarns, and so I did the repeat twice. So I did 4 colors and then 4 colors again. And it turned out really cute, but for this one I just wanted to keep it simple, and I already had some hanks of this dyed up. So I dyed up some of this pink that was never on my website. It was going to be May's subscription colorway. So this is, it is a boxy fit, and it has a 1x1 rib at the bottom for the hem, and then you pick up and do the front and neck band in the same 1x1 rib, and then you pick up the sleeve stitches and knit down, and you finish off with a 1x1 rib there. Very simple, very intuitive, so much fun. The stripes, I know I've said it before here, but stripes are just so much fun to knit. And the other great thing about it is you don't have to worry about constantly alternating skeins as much. So this is done out of a non-superwash fingering. And again, because of the decision I've made on going in the direction of designing instead of dyeing, I think I'm going to write this up in a cotton yarn as well. And the reason I'm choosing cotton on all of these is I will do them both ways, but for those of you that don't know, I live in Southern California in the desert, and cotton yarn is just obviously a better fiber for me to wear personally. And I feel like warm weather climates kind of get lost and forgotten when it comes to knitting. So I think I'm going to try to give some love to the warm weather people that live in warm weather climates, so that they can have some beautiful things to knit up to. So that is the Spring Fling cardigan. It is in testing, and I hope to have it available by the end of June. Maybe even before then, depends on how testing goes. Real quick, I am still looking for testers. If you are interested in testing for me, go to my Ravelry group or go to my Instagram. Everything will be linked below, obviously. Go there and contact me and let me know that you would like to be put on my testers list. I could still use some testers for the 3 patterns I'm going to be showing today. So that's Spring Fling. If you have any interest in testing it, let me know. And if you have any interest in testing any of these out of a cotton yarn, definitely let me know, because I would like to see how the numbers transist over to a cotton yarn. Because I know when you work with cotton, when you wash it, cotton tends to shrink in length, whereas wool tends to grow. So I'm anxious to see how the numbers are going to play out. So, all right. And also, I will be popping up pictures over here for everybody to see of the finished pattern where it has been styled and everything, so you guys can see what it looks like being worn and styled and everything. So, the next one, it's one that you guys have given me such great feedback on. When I very first showed it, it was not even a consideration for being a pattern. It was just something that I had made for myself, and I absolutely loved it. So, and you guys gave me great response as well. So this is the sea glass top. My first version of it was done in my sea glass colorway. So it was apropos for that one. Sea glass does not work for this one, and you'll see why in a second. I made this one out of my superwash fingering. Normally I would do non-superwash, but I already had this yarn dyed up, and I just thought it would look beautiful for this top, and it does. This is the sea glass. It is, once again, a round yoke, top down top, and it is, I did for this one, for the increases, I did a right lifted increase, and for the trim, For the cuff and the neckline, it's a 1x1 rib. And at the bottom, I have a lace panel. And I discovered a new way of binding off for lace where I'm just so excited about it. The way you can actually see the scallops from the design. Sorry if you can hear my dog snoring. But anyway, I'm very excited with the tweaks and everything I have made to this one. And it is, again, in testing. And I hope to have it out by the end of June, if not sooner. And I will pop a picture up of what it looks like on and styled. So that is Title in Work Sea Glass top. Okay. The last FO that I have to share, I'm really excited about it. Again, being in Southern California in a humid environment, hot climate, the style of this one is just great for this area. And not only is it great for hot climates, but it's fantastic for layering as well. So it's great for transitional weather. So I have shown this before. I was actually wearing my blush version last time, and this one was a whip last time, and it is done. This is my Lil Sprout top, and it is a top-down halter style, which is not common. Most of the time you see halter styles or anything in like this type of work or this type of style, you see it bottom up. But I wanted to do top down because A, I like to be able to try things on as I go, and B, I like to use my yarn. I know that sounds crazy, but it's like if I only have just a little bit left, I'd rather use that and add a little bit of length than have it just a little tiny bit left over. Now, if it's a lot left over, I'm not going to add that much, but that's just kind of a silly thing that I like. So I'm actually, because of the way everything has fallen into place, this one has actually not started testing yet, but this is a super fast knit. For me, it is a 2-day knit. I would think and when I say a 2-day knit, I knit a lot. So I know most people are not going to be able to do it in 2 days, but 16 hours, anywhere from 15 to 30 hours, depending on the size, I would think you could have this thing done. Again, I'm going to pop a picture up so you can see it, and I'll probably pop pictures up of the detail shots as well so that you can really appreciate the wide ribbing that I have on the side here and the split hem. So yeah, I'll pop a picture in. Now, because of the way this one has fallen within me making my decision to no longer be doing the yarn, I've decided to go ahead and rewrite this or reformulate it. I've already had it written, but I'm formulating it for a cotton linen yarn. It's not really that much difference, but I decided to just go ahead and do it in that direction, and I started my final version yesterday, so that is going to be in my whips, which I am going to show you in just a second, because that's it for FOs. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, on to whips. This whip that I just talked about is currently living in my black and white dog's bag, and it is the Lil Sprout top, and this is it done up in the Yarn Bee. So I got this from Hobby Lobby, and this is Yarn Bee's Cotton Cotton et Lin. I'll get it out in a second. And this is in colorway Sulfur. And it is a worsted weight. It's 180 yards for 100 grams or 3.5 ounces. And I am in love with this color. And I did do a little tiny swatch because I kind of figured what it was going to do, so I didn't do a full-size swatch. But I did this swatch and I washed it and blocked it. Ran it through the dryer just a little bit to get it just down to damp, and then blocked it, and it is so soft. I'm very, very, very excited about this. So this is Cotton et Lin by Yarn Bee, and you can get this at Hobby Lobby. And so this is where I am right now. I have just joined to work in the round, and I'm keeping the design the same. I haven't changed anything, though I did make a change to the way the back is done. The first version I did German short rows to raise the back neckline up, and then I did German short rows in the front and in the back to create the shape of the neckline. And I actually did it on the green one as well that I just showed, and I just wasn't pleased with the way that was coming together. It works, it raises the back neckline up, but it raises it up such that, let's see if I can show you. Let's see if you can see this. So it pushes this up where this should still be, if you can see from the front, how the front has a dip shape to it versus the back looks more straight across as far as the neckband is concerned. That wasn't working for me. So I tinkered around and until I figured out, or I didn't really tinker, I just thought it through. And so the back will now have proper shaping and be up higher. And I'm so excited that I was able to get that exactly the way it should be. For those of you that don't know, I am a bit of a perfectionist. So that is my first whip, and that is Lil Sprout title in the works. My second, and let me preface all of this with, I am doing a test knit for Tara of a loop through a loop, and her test is with a cotton yarn, which, yay, I'm excited. And so the pattern is written with Knit Picks Comfy Fingering. And I went on the website, and it's a striped pattern, a striped sweater, and I wasn't happy with the color combos that I could come up with. And so I went to Hobby Lobby to pick up some yarn to do it, and just kind of bought a lot of yarn. And I also ended up ordering from Knit Picks as well. So I don't normally have an acquisitions section in my podcast, but I will today. So that being said, a lot of this yarn you're going to be seeing is Hobby Lobby, which I love Hobby Lobby, who doesn't? And you're going to be seeing pretty much all cotton yarns, cotton blends, things like that, cottons and linens. So this is a cardigan. I know, big shock. For those of you that know, I love my cardigans. This is the softest. I wish you could just reach through the camera right now and feel how soft this is. This is, if Yarn Bee Fresco Fiber in the colorway light gray. And it is, let's see, where does it say? Okay, so this is 290 yards, which for 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, which is in between a sport and DK. It's not as light as a sport, not as heavy as a DK. And I'm knitting this up in a fairly loose gauge. So as I am knitting this, I'm a process designer. So I knit and just kind of create as I go. That's probably why I end up knitting so many versions of it before it ever gets released, but that's okay, that's just how I work. So this one is, I am going to be writing it as a pattern, but this is my first run through, so there will be changes on it. I've decided to do open front, and it'll be picking up stitches for the fronts and the neckband. I'm doing it with a garter trim, which is just so, I wish you guys could feel this. And I'm doing a high-low hem, so we have German short rows to create length in the back. It's only about 2 inches longer at this point. I may be changing that. Currently it is a boxy silhouette, but I'm going to be changing that to a flared silhouette. Not just A-line, but flared, so that it really has some volume to the bottom of it, I believe. Again, this is just me working through my design process. So this is another whip, and it has it's nowhere close to even being thought of a name at this point. But I am really, really, really pleased with this yarn. It is a cotton, it's a cotton blend, cottons, acrylics. And I will say this yarn has very little twist to it, and the fibers are very light and airy. This will probably, sorry, it's caught on my ring. This will probably do a lot of shedding in the beginning. But I think after it has been washed and all of that several times, I don't think it will shed as much. But I know that it's going to shed because when I'm working on it, by the end of it, especially if I'm wearing like dark colored shorts or whatever, it's just covered in cotton. So it's going to shed in the beginning, but I think it'll be worth the hassle of getting it to stop shedding because it's just such a lovely feeling fiber. Okay, so next whip. This one is done out of one of my acquisitions, one of my other acquisitions. So let's see. Yeah, all of these yarns, all of these projects are done out of new acquisitions. Okay, so this is done out of Knit Picks Comfy Fingering. And they do these in 50-gram balls, and it is 218 yards in 50 grams. So it's a pretty standard fingering weight. I have, again, this is designing process. So I have actually started this several times, ripped it out, started it again, ripped it out. Again, it's just my process. I think I have finally decided what I'm going to do with this. I really like doing top-down construction, but I kind of wanted to do something different than just a raglan or just a round yoke. So I've come up with something kind of hit me this morning, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to do with this. So this is going to be, hopefully by the next podcast, this will be a finished object, and I'll be able to show you guys what I have milling around in my head. All right, so that is that, if you even want to call that a whip. I've worked on it, there's just nothing to show. And final one, again, nothing to show, but this is going to be my second version of the cardigan that I'm working on. So it's the same exact yarn, but it is in a linen colorway. And hold on just a second. Oh, I thought you were doing something. I apologize. Okay, so this is going to be my second version of the cardigan, the gray cardigan, but I got this gorgeous linen colorway, still the fresco fiber. So that is it for my whips. Let's see what we have next. Okay, next we'll be talking about my happy mail. So give me just a second to grab all of that and we'll go through all of it. All right, now for happy mail or acquisitions or whatever you want to call it. This is, I did get yarn this past month. Normally I don't have this section because I always just dyed my own yarn. But anyway, okay, so I bought some yarn. A lot of these are going to be the same kind of yarns, just in different colorways. So I'm going to start with some of my Hobby Lobby purchases, and I am actually doing the Caddy Jacks half and half triangles wrap knit along. I did not do any work on it last month because I was so busy with everything else, so I didn't bother showing that in this episode. But the yarn that I'm using in it is this same yarn, and I absolutely love this yarn. It is Yarn Bee Blended Bliss, and my half and half triangles wrap is done out of colorway Smoke and Rougir, R-O-U-G-I-R. These, I have 3 more colorways, and this one is, I love this one. I bought a pair of shorts just to go with this. So this is colorway Clay. These are a fingering weight yarn. These are 443 yards, so it's a very light fingering weight yarn for 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. That is colorway Clay. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with these yet, but they were just so pretty I had to get them. I don't normally buy yarn without having a pattern in mind. I went there because of the testing that I'm doing for Tara. Sorry, my brain died on me. And I wanted to see what yarns they had that I might be able to pull together. So for the striped test knit that I'm doing, the colors that I got were the same Blended Bliss yarn, and I got them in colorway Chambray, which is so me, and where's the name? Green Eyes. So there's the colorway of those two. This is Chambray, this is Green Eyes. And I think this is what I'm going to do. I love these colors, but then after thinking about it, and after I got in the yarn that I ordered from Knit Picks, I may go back and just do I think I may go back to Knit Picks and order just black and white. I love black and white, and it's classic and it goes with everything. And I may save these and do something else with these. So that is the Yarn Bee, and then I got the fresco fibers in the 2 different colors that I've already shown. So I got those 2, and then I got the green comfy fingering that I showed. That one's called Kelly, I think it's called Kelly Green. I think I may have forgotten to say that color name. Okay, the other comfy yarn that I got is this, once again, Comfy Fingering, and this is in colorway Parchment. And I just think this is a good neutral that will go with anything. So again, not quite sure what I'm going to do with these. I think I'm going to make tops out of them, like little tees, maybe a raglan tee or something, just for something to wear to keep me cool, to go with my little, I wear chino shorts or denim skirts or whatever. So this will be gorgeous with my denim. Love that. Okay, so that's the other Comfy. The other three that I got is the cotton linen, and it is 70 cotton, 30 linen. I need glasses. This is in colorway, well, it has a color number. I know it has a color name. I think it was like fuchsia for some reason. Let's see if it's on one of the others. No? Okay. That does not have the color name on it, but it is color number U124. I'm pretty sure it was fuchsia. So this is that colorway. And I also got Cotlin in, I think this, yeah, I know. This one was called Snow. I don't know why they don't have the color. Swan, there's the color name. Okay, this one was Cerise, C-E-R-I-S-E. And this colorway is Swan. I love this. I have a pair of shorts that is in this colorway, and I always have such a hard time finding anything to go with them. Well, not a hard time, but I just thought it was great. This is the same exact color as those shorts. It's not off-white. It's certainly not white. It's kind of in between. So I'm really excited about that. And then I got this colorway, which is called Raindrop. And this is just a good medium denim looking kind of colorway. So I got that. And I got 4 hanks of everything that I got. I got everything in 4 hanks because I figured that would be enough unless I wanted to do a cardigan. Again, those are all 50-gram hanks. I do prefer 100-gram hanks, but I think that may be hard in cotton because I know cotton yarns tend to have a lot of knots in them. So I think they have to do them in smaller runs as far as yarn length. So that's probably why they do them in 50 grams. But that was it for Happy Mail, and I don't know about you guys, but that made me happy. So, all right, up next we are going to round out this episode with our final our giveaway for this month, and then I was going to go over some book talk. So if you want to hear what, if you want to talk about books you're reading or find out what I'm reading, that is coming up in just a second. So I'll be right back. All right, here is this month's giveaway. I don't have a bag with this one, and the only reason I don't is because I don't have any made up right now. Everything has been shipped out, so if I get time to make up another bag, I will add that to the giveaway. This month I have this scrumptious, squishy yumminess. This is an Aran Weight Superwash yarn in colorway Greek Domes. I made a cardigan out of this and absolutely love that cardigan. and I just thought this colorway was beautiful. So this will be this month's giveaway. If you would like to win the giveaway, leave me a comment below. Tell me what you're knitting. Tell me what you want to knit. If you have some things that you've been dream knitting of, let me know below, because I'm always looking for more great patterns to knit up. If you have some suggestions for summer patterns, I do have a lot of Jessie Maid's patterns, her camis and things like that, but I like short sleeve, so I don't know. Tell me what you're working on, and tell me if you have any dream knitting that you have in your mind right now. So that is the giveaway. And lastly, I thought I would talk about books. I attempted to talk about books in one of my other episodes, and I had not quite gotten the hang of this podcasting thing. I have since discovered that doing it in segments, hopefully this particular episode will go off without a hitch. So I got cut off in one of my episodes where I was talking about books, and I wanted to attempt that again. Currently, or this past month, what I have read is, I had started a series by Inglath Cooper. I will link everything below. This was the Smith Mountain Lake series, and the first book was Blue Wide Sky. And Inglath Cooper, her books are just quick and fun, and they're very light, easy reads. They are romance novels. I like very clean romance novels, and she writes very cleanly. So yeah, I have read a lot of her books. I highly recommend her. If you guys are into just fun, take me away for a little bit reads, Inglath Cooper is a fantastic author. Okay, so I finished up that series, and the second book was called Dragonfly Summer, and the third book is called Fences. And they were all really, really, really cute. Again, just light and airy reads. I really enjoyed those. I'm currently reading for like the fourth time, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I love Pride and Prejudice. I love Sense and Sensibility. The reason I started Pride and Prejudice again is because I found, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there are authors out there that have done sequels to Jane Austen's books and giving them fun twists. And so I found one, I ran across one. It's called Mary Bennet and the Bingley Codex. And this book is by Joyce Harmon. And because it's a sequel to Pride and Prejudice, I thought, okay, I've got to read it again. And so then the second one I'm going to read is this Mary Bennet and the Bingley Codex, which is about Mary, the sister, Jane's sister. And so she discovers some books in Jane's libraries, and this one has kind of like a magical fantasy kind of direction to it. So I'm kind of interested to see how that goes. And then while I was at it, I went ahead and got Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I've never read that one. I probably should have, because I know it's one of those that pretty much everybody has read. Have you guys read it? Let me know what you think of it, how it compares to Pride and Prejudice or Sense and Sensibility. And then there's a couple of others of Jane Austen's that I have not read, and I just thought I'm going to go on a Jane Austen kick for a little bit and kind of fill in those gaps of books that I have not read of hers, since she is an author that I do enjoy. I also enjoy Charlotte Bronte. Okay, and then the last set of books that I wanted to talk about is actually my mother's books. My mother is an author and she writes kind of romance novels. Again, she's very clean. We have that in common. We like clean romance. So if you like light and airy reads, again, she's a lot like Inglath Cooper. I just enjoy those characters that you fall in love with. She has great character development, so does Inglath Cooper. You just fall in love with the characters and they're fun. My mother's characters are very spunky and I just love that. Just great personalities. So her author name, her pen name is Elizabeth Parker, and her books can be found on Amazon, but she's having a little bit of issue with not getting her payment from Amazon. So if you can buy her books from Barnes & Noble, that would actually be better. She's actually on several other book markets, so you can check those out. But anyway, she has 3 books out. One of them is actually it's not currently available. It has just been released from, or it's in the process of being released from one, not producer, not editor. I can't think of what it's called, but anyway, it's being released from one company, and she's putting it with a different company. And that one is called Blue Eyes of Texas, but it's not available yet. Her second book is called Taming Sky. Super, super, super cute book. I love it. Again, spunky characters that you just fall in love with. And then the third one she has out currently is called Mustang Run. So that's Elizabeth Parker, Elizabeth spelled, or I'll put everything in the description box below. And links to the books and everything. So if you guys are readers, tell me what kind of books you like to read. I tried talking about this before. I enjoy fantasy, I enjoy classics, I enjoy murder mystery, I enjoy quite a few genres. I do enjoy romance. I love oh my goodness, I cannot think of one of my favorite, Nora Roberts. Oh, her name left me. Nora Roberts. I'm a huge Nora Roberts fan. So yeah, what kind of books do you guys like to read? What are you currently reading? Do you recommend it? Yeah, talk to me, tell me. Comment down below. And that is it for today's episode. I thank you guys so much for coming back and visiting. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little bit. It's so nice to get to chat with you. And I do enjoy the back and forth chatting, so definitely talk to me and let me know what you have going on. I should have more time now that I have stopped the yarn dyeing. I've taken that off of my plate. That should open up some more time for me to be able to chat a little better than I have been able to these past 2 months. So definitely talk to me down below, and until next time, you guys make every day a great one, and I will see you the last Sunday of next month. Bye.